darling. Hello.
Goodness, what a surprise. Come on in.
It's good to see you. You're looking so well.
Well, thank you, and so are you.
Still here, I see.
Yes, still here. Impoverished circumstances, on the breadline. All of that.
Now, I didn't mean anything by it. I'll put the kettle on, shall I?
Okay.
I'm not holding you up, am I?
Lanzarote. Where's that when it's at home?
The Canary Islands. It's one of them new package-type thingies. Oh, the rage according to Gina.
Happy to risk life and limb, are you?
Huh?
Suspect plumbing and dodgy food. You wouldn't get me there for all the tea in China.
Won't catch you 20 miles south of Whitby, Alf. Be fair.
And, Sarge knows all about this then, does he?
Not yet, no. I haven't had a chance to ask him yet.
Well, you'll be lucky if you don't mind my saying so.
How do you mean?
Well, you're not exactly Mr. Popularity round here, are you?
A little matter of timekeeping. So, I'd choose your moment if I were you.
So it was a last-minute thing, was it?
In a way. I've been promising to visit the Hendersons for some time. But to be honest, I didn't realize how close together you all were until I looked them up on the map.
So Dad couldn't make the trip, could he?
Your father's never been very keen on Joe, so no, he cried off.
Oh, well, why's that?
We stepped out together once years ago, Joe and I. Oh, it was a year or so before he and Shona tied the knot. Anyway, I'm staying up at their house for a few days, and with you so close by, seemed a pleasant way of killing two birds.
I see.
Darling, they've got masses of room. I didn't want to impose on you here, not when you're so pushed for space.
You wouldn't have been imposing, Mum. But never mind. Whatever you think's best.
Now, I've booked supper for them tonight at Webster's Hotel. Do you remember, darling? They'd love it if you could join us. That's why I popped by, actually. I hope you haven't got anything planned.
Well, I haven't, but I'll have to check with Mike.
Hendersons are dying to see you, darling, so do your best.
What's all this, David?
Oh, it's a leaflet.
Well, I can see that. Well, there's a pop concert coming to town. Mickey Willis Promotions. Gordon Bennett, he's come up in the world.
Why, well, do you know him, do you?
Mickey Willis? No. But I knew his dad.
Hey, well, maybe you'll let us in for free.
Better than that, David. There's a business opportunity here not to be missed.
Gina! Gina.
Oh, Oscar, don't shout.
I'm not shouting.
What is it?
Crisps.
Oh, what's your hurry? I mean, we haven't exactly got a rush on.
Right, fine, I'll get them.
I'm sorry, Oscar. Look, I overdid it a bit last night, that's all.
Well, I just hope Bellamy's not in the same state. As a police officer, he should show an example.
He behaved himself. We still had a great time, though, bopping the night away.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear it.
Oh, yeah?
Believe it or not, Gina, I was young once. It's a long time ago now, but there's still life in the old dog yet. So, any time you need a dancing partner, forget Bellamy. He's got two left feet. I'm your man.
You are?
Come here. Silver medalist, 1932. Believe me.
Wild thing, think I love you. But I wanna know for sure. Come on.
Want a word with you, Henderson? Now what? When are you going to get this shuttering sorted out? It'll do for now. No, it won't. I'm having to switch off machinery every few minutes just to check it's holding. All right, I'll get it checked. When? In my own good time, that's when.
On payday, I expect. Sometime never. We can't live on promises, Henderson.
Listen, you'll get paid when the job's done. So I don't know why you're standing around here. And I don't care if it takes till midnight. Got that, have you?
Mickey Willis? Vernon Scripps. Last time you saw me, you were in short trousers.
Oh, yeah. Used to knock around with my dad.
The very same.
How are you?
Not bad. Not bad at all. I see you've struck oil, eh? Promoting pop tours. Who'd have thought?
Not complaining, Vernon. Not complaining.
Hard to get in this lark, is it?
Of course, yeah. But once you're in, you're in. I started out as an official caterer on the pop circuit. So now with my money made, I can please myself.
Catering, eh? That's one of my specialities, Mickey. Scripps Celebrity Caterers. Heard of us, have you?
Can't say I have.
I'll tell you what, as you're practically family, I could perhaps fit you in. Do a special deal.
Very kind of you, Vernon. Very kind of you, but I think we've got things pretty much under control on this one. Another time, perhaps.
I'll tell you what, I'll pop down tonight and you can see a true professional at work.
You do that, Vernon. You do that.
You've inherited your mother's good looks, if I may say so, Jackie.
Well, thank you. Although we're very different animals, aren't we, Mum?
Is that right?
Not true.
So, how do you like it up here in Yorkshire? We've not frightened you off yet.
We love it. Just our kind of place, isn't it, dear?
It's a bit isolated where we live. No close neighbors. Being part of a community is what I miss.
It's the gossip. That's what she misses.
It's not just that.
Flower arranging at the WI, all that sort of malarkey. Well, I was out in the big bad world, earning a crust.
Well, you work together now, though, is that right?
I do the admin, yes.
Oh, so that's what you call it, eh?
Don't listen to him, Shona. He was telling me earlier he couldn't manage without you, weren't you, Joe?
Was I?
You know you were.
I'm cheap, that's why. And I don't complain.
No, don't put yourself down. That's my job.
Just needs a bit of attention. Then we'll set ourselves up, we'll get down to that pop concert, and we'll show that Mickey Willis what we're made of. He'll sign us up straight away for one of his tours. Scripps, Celebrity Caterers. Caterers to the stars. Ash Fordley this week, next week, the world. What do you reckon, Bernard?
You don't really want me to answer that, do you?
Well, it just needs a bit of tidying up.
And a new engine, and 4 new tyres, and a battery that works, and a steering system that responds to the steering wheel.
Well, it's come to the right place then, hasn't it?
Vernon, I mend cars. I don't walk on water.
You know your trouble, don't you, Bernard?
What would that be?
You've got no sense of adventure.
So, Joe, if you should ever need a lawyer for your many business interests, you know where to come.
I'm sorry, Joe. Mum's made a bit of a mistake. I'm not a commercial lawyer. I do criminal defence. They're different bedfellows.
But you must have some experience of commercial law.
Well, yes, but I'm not an expert. Mike, you made it. This is my husband, Mike. Joe Henderson.
How'd you do?
And his wife, Shona.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise. Sorry I'm late.
Been fighting crime, young man?
Oh, well, yes, something like that.
We forgive you then, don't we, girls?
Panda 1, coming over. Panda 1, are you receiving me? Over.
Phil, where are you? Come in, please.
Ah, Bellamy, back again, I see.
Yeah, just thought I'd grab a few moments with Gina.
All right. Can I have a word?
Yeah, of course you can, Oscar. No charge to you either.
This friendship between you and Gina seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think maybe a bit too well? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. You're a copper, she's a licensee. If this relationship develops, marriage would mean you would have to give up your job or she would have to give up hers. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, we're just good friends at the moment.
Come on. A bit more than that, isn't it?
It's got nothing to do with you.
Oh, maybe not, but I just thought...
Yeah. Thank you, Oscar. But when I want your advice, I'll ask for it.
I wouldn't have thought there was much to do up here. Bit of sheep rustling from time to time, perhaps.
We get busy. Well, busy enough.
I can vouch for that. Sometimes we're like ships that pass in the night.
Oh, well, you better watch out if that's the case. Someone might steal her away.
Is there a Mr. Henderson here?
That's me.
A phone call for you, sir.
Oh. Excuse me, everyone.
Your work must be very rewarding, Jackie.
Well, yes, it's stressful too sometimes, though.
Jackie won't be at this level forever, Shona. Country practice in a sleepy town.
Damn nuisance.
What is it?
Fairbrothers had some sort of accident up at the quarry.
I'll come with you.
What for? You won't be able to do anything. Sorry about this, Edwina.
Oh, can't be helped.
Look, I'll come with you.
Oh, all right, Mike.
What happened? Jacob were fixing the shutter guard and the whole thing came down on top of him.
You called an ambulance?
We're on the way.
Jacob! 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 Jacob, can you hear me?
Lads, give me a handshake with this girder so I can get in there. Come on, come on. After 3. 1, 2.
Leave it to the experts, Mike. They'll be here any time now.
You can't have much air supply. We've got to do something now. Jacob, hang on. I'm coming in. Jacob. 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 Hang on. Hang on.
Never been so pleased to see anyone in my life.
Come on. Give us your hand. Your hand. That's it. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on, that's it. Come on. Come on. That's it. All right. All right. Watch his legs! Watch his legs! Stop! Watch out!
Are you all right?
Funny, isn't it, lads? The boss showing concern suddenly. Bit late for that now, Henderson, eh?
Well done, Mike. Thanks.
We've made him comfortable, Mrs. Fairbrother, and all the signs are good. There are fractures to his ribs, and we're checking for internal injuries. But it looks like he'll be okay.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, that's great news.
Probably down to your quick thinking, Mike.
Oh, we were just lucky to get him out.
But he will need to take it easy for quite some time. Here he is.
Thanks.
Morning, Sarge.
In my office, please, Bellamy.
Jacob Fairbrother, please.
Hello there. How's things?
Fine, thanks.
Ward 5.
What are you doing here?
I am so sorry about what's happened, Pamela. How is he?
He'll survive. No thanks to you. There's no telling when he'll work again.
Look, if there's anything I can do...
Dead right there is. You can pay us the wages you owe Jacob for a start, and compensation for loss of earnings.
I'll speak with Joe when I get back.
And he'll do nothing about it, like he always does. God, he put my husband's life at risk for the sake of a few coppers.
That's not true.
Jacob kept warning him about that stone shuttering, and nothing was done.
I will speak to Joe, Pamela. I promise I will. I'm so sorry for what's happened.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Dr. Summerby suggested I spoke to you.
I'm not sure that
I told Jacob he should just pack it in if the conditions up there were that dangerous. But he said if he did, he'd never see the money at all.
Mrs. Fairbrother, I am not an expert on this.
Dr. Summerby said that if anyone could help us, you could.
I'll look into it. But I should warn you that cases of civil negligence are very difficult to prove. I wouldn't get my hopes up too high if I were you. It may well be that there's nothing I can do.
Sarge, I'm really sorry. I've been having a few problems with the radio lately.
Oh, really? Filed a report to that effect, have you?
I planned on getting it fixed today.
You don't say. You cannot expect to be taken seriously here or in any section of the British police force if you can't even get in on time or respond to a simple call. Have I made myself plain?
Sarge.
I want to see a marked improvement in your attitude, and I want to see it straight away.
Yes, Sarge.
And while we're on the subject, a lot of this is to do with your social life, which also gives cause for concern. Gina is a licensee, Bellamy.
I know. And relationships between police officers and publicans is forbidden.
Exactly. So if you do decide to get married, one of you will have to give up your job.
We're not quite at that stage, Sarge.
Well, I'm pleased to hear it. All right, carry on.
Sarge.
Jackie, darling, have you got a minute?
A minute, yes. I'm on my way to court.
It's just this accident business up at the quarry. Poor Joe's being hounded by that man's family. Quite a bad lot by the sounds of it. Of course, I offered him your services straight away.
You did what?
I said that you'd represent him, if it should get that far.
But I can't do that. You had no right to say that I could.
But you're just the person to help him. This is very much up your street.
Well, under normal circumstances, yes, maybe I am, but... The fact is, I've just agreed to act for the Fairbrothers.
Don't be ridiculous. You can't do that. We're talking about two of my oldest friends here. Of course, we must help them.
Joe Henderson might be a good friend, but as an employer, he leaves a lot to be desired.
That's nonsense. I trust him with my life.
Well, so did Jacob Fairbrother. Query got him.
But that was his fault, not Joe's.
We don't know that, Mum.
Jackie, you can't do this to me.
And you can't stop me. I think the Fairbrothers have a very good case. I intend to fight it for them.
Look, Jacob, you really are in no fit state to go home. You need to rest.
How can I stay here? I've got a family to support.
Which is why you should make sure you're on the mend before risking complications.
Thanks, Doc. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Honest.
Joe,
Now what?
you know, I really think it would be a good idea to offer the Fairbrothers some money, don't you?
Have you taken leave of your senses?
No, but I really think we should at least be seen to be behaving properly.
We are behaving properly.
Yes, but they're in dire straits because of all this.
And to make any financial settlement now would be like admitting liability. Shona, you know nothing about these things. Please, leave it to me.
Bradley, I've just had Joe Henderson on the phone. Apparently Fairbrother signed himself out of the hospital and he's up at the quarry making a nuisance of himself. See to it, will you?
On my way.
So what's all this then? Doing a spot of moonlighting?
Oh, no. No, we're going into the catering business. What do you reckon?
And this thing? It looks like it did the Battle of the Somme.
No, Mr. Vernon, he reckons that this is going to take us to San Francisco and back. Caterers to the stars.
Well, I'll reserve judgment, if you don't mind. Proof in the pudding and all that?
Oh. No, I don't think we're doing puddings, Mr. Bellamy.
I told him weeks ago about the shuttering. What's he do about it? Nothing.
It's a complete fabrication cobbled together in some pub.
What did you say?
I've sent him packing more than once when he's turned up on site half-cut.
That's a lie! Hey!
That's enough.
You'll regret saying that. I'm warning you.
Threats now. I hope you heard that, Constable.
I could have been killed!
Yes, because of your own incompetence, not mine.
Hey! Look, any more of that and I'll take you down the station. Look, if you've got some financial claim against Mr. Henderson, I suggest you pursue it through the courts because you'll get nowhere by making threats.
You've not heard the last of this, Henderson. You'll be sorry you ever heard my name.
What do you want?
I'm an old mate of Mickey Willis.
Oh, yeah. That's what they all say.
Vernon Scripps. Scripps Celebrity Catering. Heard of me?
No. I don't suppose Mr. Willis has either.
Look, I've got the van all set up and ready here.
Good for you. You still can't see him. He's busy.
Absolutely. I'll pop back later.
Suit yourself.
You know why I'm here. I'm owed 4 weeks' wages, and I'm not leaving this house without it.
You'll have to speak to Joe about that.
I have, and now I'm speaking to you. After all, you are in charge of our wages.
But we don't have it.
Then get it.
Has that Mr. Willis signed this up yet?
Not yet, but he will. Don't worry yourself about that. He's just a bit busy at the moment with his deals. Well, we might as well pick up a bit of passing trade while we're here. Won't do any harm. Right, David, where's his bag of chips? No. Great. Get cracking, lad.
Hey, boil in the bag. That's handy.
Oh, heck.
I'm back! Took such an age in town.
Come on, Bernard, you've got to do better than this. We've got to get some light on the proceedings. It's pitch black in there. It's not doing much for trade.
But it won't have it. Running lights off the spare battery. I told you it wouldn't work.
Right. This calls for a bit of ingenuity.
Well, what's that then?
Ingenuity? It's my middle name, lad.
How many middle names have you got?
Can you tell us exactly what you saw when you walked into the house, Mrs. Lambert?
The front door was open, so I knew straight away that something was amiss. Joe's such a stickler for security. I called out to Shona from the hall. Then I went into the kitchen.
You didn't see anyone? Or maybe a car leaving the drive or turning into the main road?
No, I'm sorry I didn't.
And you didn't move anything?
No, nothing.
No one's threatened the Hendersons in any way that you know
Only the Fairbrothers, but of course you know about them.
of? Yes, indeed we do.
Right, well. Thanks very much, Mrs. Lambert.
Deputy said, Sergeant. No silence.
There you are.
They agreed with the sons out of Mrs. Lambert to discuss next week.
Mum, why don't you come home with us? It might make things easier.
No, I'm staying here with Joe. He needs me.
Night then, Oscar.
Good night. Bellamy, you thought about what I said?
Yes, I have.
And?
Well, what Gina and I do is our own affair, no one else's. And I'll thank you to remember that, Oscar.
Come on, Phil, we never get there at this rate.
We're not sure of the circumstances quite yet, Mr. Henderson.
I can't believe it. It's just too awful.
There was some evidence of a struggle, sir. So it was possibly an altercation that got out of hand, but it would be wrong to speculate for the moment.
It's hard to take in.
Yes, I do understand, sir. If there is anything we can do.
Would you like us to contact anyone?
How am I going to carry on without her?
It must be a dreadful shock. CID have been informed and will be working alongside them.
I see.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Anderson?
Late morning. I spent some time up here at the quarry, and then I had a Rotary meeting in Whitby.
I see.
What happens now?
Well, we will need the body to be formally identified, but that can wait till tomorrow if you'd rather.
No. Now, let's do it now, get it over with. I'd like to see her one last time. Inside the shack. Maybe it's a picture kept him from Russia to embrace. It's not a picture.
Hello, Mrs. Fairbrother. Is Jacob in?
Come in.
We need to ask you some questions down at the station, Jacob.
What for?
Well, Shona Henderson was found dead at her house this afternoon.
Oh, no.
Dead? You didn't go up there by any chance?
Of course I didn't.
Well, we need you to make a statement.
Well, now?
Yes. No time like the present.
I was very sorry to hear about your wife, Mr. Henderson.
Thank you.
Here we are. You know where I am if you need me.
Thanks for your help, Doctor.
Not at all.
When you unraveled it. Evening all.
Hiya.
What's all this then?
Car problems. You know how it is.
Bit dark, isn't it?
It's called atmospheric.
How's it going then, lads?
Right.
2 hot dogs, please, David.
Oh, yeah, right, coming up. What's with the paintwork? Couldn't you decide on which colour to choose?
You're behind times, lad. This is the latest thing. Tell you what, when the group saw this van, they signed us up immediately as their official caterers. We're just discussing terms. But yes, I think you'll be able to say you knew us in the bad old days.
When you couldn't afford a light bulb between the 3 of you.
There you go.
Oh, ta, David.
2 shillings, please.
Oh, have that on us.
Thank you.
Ta-ra, then.
Right, let's get rid of them. It's time for desperate measures. Come on, David.
So what did you do this afternoon, Jacob?
Stayed in.
And have you been in contact with either Mr. or Mrs. Henderson since your visit to the quarry earlier on today?
No, I just told you.
So, after you stormed off from the quarry this afternoon, you did what?
Went back home.
You threatened Mr. Henderson earlier today, didn't you?
Lost my temper, yeah. I didn't mean anything by it. I've calmed down since.
Now, you listen to me, Fairbrother. You're looking at a murder charge here. It doesn't get much more serious than this.
It had nothing to do with me. I didn't do it.
You had the motive and you had the opportunity.
I've just told you. I didn't go up there.
Right. It'll be like Blackpool illuminations here in a minute. Just you wait and see. Here, hold that wire. Right, give us a lift up. Mr. Moore.
You're keeping me here overnight?
In the circumstances, yes. No doubt the CID will want to hear what you've got to say for yourself.
Sarge?
Identification go all right, Bradley?
Fine, Sarge.
Right. Sign here, Fairbrother. What's going on?
Oh, we're going to try another one then, Mr. Vernon. What? And black out the whole of Yorkshire? I don't think so.
Right. What's plan B?
Sarge.
Jacob? Jacob!
Pamela, this is going to do him no good at all. Now it really looks as though he's got something to hide.
What do you want me to do about it?
Well, I thought you might have some idea of where he's got to.
Our second home, you mean? Our villa in south of France.
Friends or relatives who might be hiding him, or...
There's no one.
And if there was, you wouldn't tell me, would you? If he does get in touch, please talk it through. Try and reason with him. Providing he's telling the truth, he really does have nothing to fear.
Decoy, David. What? Diverter.
Hello, Gina. Well, everything all right?
No, not really, David. Well, it was good while it lasted. With this power cut, the whole thing's ground to a halt. The band have packed up and Phil's been called in to find an escaped prisoner.
Come on, David. Sorry to dash, love, but deals to be done, you know what they say? Time is money.
Mum, I'm so glad you came round. I feel awful about everything that's happened.
Do you? I don't think you've any idea how difficult this is for me.
Of course I have.
Joe and I go back a very long way. Now, to have my only daughter representing the man who everyone believes killed his wife...
No, let's not jump the gun, Mother.
I've never asked you for any help before, Jackie, and the first time that I do, you throw the whole thing back in my face.
I realise that this is awkward for you, Mum. But when I take on a case, I do so with good reason. Now, please give me credit for that.
That's not the point.
Mum, I am sorry to have to say this, but Mike and I have barely seen you since you got back from South Africa.
Oh, we've been run off our feet. You know we have.
Well, that's as may be, but you come swanning up here to stay with your wealthy friends, making it quite clear to Mike and I that our hospitality isn't good enough for you.
Don't be ridiculous.
And now you accuse me of cutting family ties that never existed in the first place.
I won't have you saying such things. We've always adored you, Daddy and I. You know we have.
All I ever hear are veiled comments to the fact that we've failed. I failed by marrying Mike. I've failed because I'm not in some swanky chambers in Chancery Lane. Mike's failed because he's still a constable.
Talk rubbish.
Well, I'm sick of it. You put us down at every opportunity and then expect us to come rallying round when you have a problem.
How dare you say such things to me? I am your mother.
When you want to be. Sometimes it's like I never had a mother.
So, how'd it go last night?
Oh, I think we made our mark.
That power cut didn't put a kibosh on things. Certainly did for me and Gina.
No, we managed, thanks.
Wouldn't have had anything to do with you three, would it?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not. Despite the fact I saw you grappling with electrical cable.
perfectly innocent explanation for that, officer.
Which is? Exactly. So, have you got a licence for that van? A catering licence?
Eh?
I'll take that as a no, shall I? Well, you'll be hearing from the local council. No doubt a fine will be imposed.
A fine?
Yes, a fine. So much for your bid to take over the world. Got off to a pretty rocky start, didn't it? Oh, and David, 2 shillings for your hot dog.
So, what seems to be the problem?
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe nothing at all, but Shona Henderson, at least the person identified by her husband last night, came into the hospital on 2 other occasions that I know of, only she used a different name.
Really?
I know it was her. I recognised Joe immediately. He came by once to pick her up.
Interesting. Maybe she used a maiden name instead.
Possibly. Miss Jane Brownlow?
No, but I'll check it out.
It took me a while to put 2 and 2 together. Look, this is probably nothing.
No, it does seem a little strange. You're right.
Well, in view of the circumstances of her death, I just felt you should know.
Yes, of course. Thanks very much, Doctor.
There's something else. On both occasions, when I asked her about her injuries, I felt she wasn't being honest. Perhaps she was hiding something?
Possibly. I'll look into it. But thanks again.
You've done the right thing, Jacob. Believe me.
I hope so.
Well, what do you know? Our wanderer returns.
Jacob would like to make a further statement, Sergeant Craddock.
Would he indeed?
I did go around to the Hendersons yesterday.
What time is this?
2, 2:30.
And what happened, exactly?
Jacob asked Shona Henderson for the money he was owed and an amount in compensation for his accident.
And then you threatened her, did you?
Sergeant?
Just tell us what happened, in your own words.
I was owed 4 weeks' wages. We were desperate. We had no food in the house.
Stick to the facts, fair brother.
What happened when you asked Mrs. Henderson for the money?
She said I should speak to Joe about it.
And did you strike her at all?
No. She gave it to me.
And then?
She closed the door behind me. I never laid a finger on her.
And you expect us to believe that, do you, after you've been lying to us from the start?
It's the truth.
So you say. The medical report that Dr. Summerby gave you. You followed that up, didn't you, Bradley?
Yes, Sarge. Shona called herself Jane Brownlow in Casualty, but her maiden name was Sloane.
Why'd she use a false name? Doesn't make sense.
Have a word with Mr. Blaketon, will you, Ventrance? I think we need to check on Joe Henderson's alibi.
Yes, Sarge. So, you all left around 7. Do you remember what time Henderson arrived?
It was exactly 4:31.
That's very precise.
I remember there were 2 latecomers before him, so when he walked through the door, I looked at my watch and I made a mental note to remind people not to be late for meetings in future. Is that a help?
More than you think.
Joe!
Edwina, you startled me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. Are you all right? You look quite pale.
Yes, of course. I wasn't expecting anyone, that's all.
I thought I'd do you a little bit of lunch if you fancy it.
Oh, I couldn't eat a thing, Edwina. And thanks for the thought. Very kind of you.
Sorry to disturb you, Mr. Henderson. Sergeant Craddock's asked me to bring you down to the station. There's 1 or 2 things we need to discuss.
Anderson, has your wife attended hospital at all in the last few months?
No. Not that I know of.
And the name Jane Brownlow means nothing to you?
Nothing at all.
When you were leaving your house yesterday to go to the Rotarians' annual meeting, what time was that exactly?
About 2 o'clock.
And you went straight to Whitby?
Yes.
Which took how long?
Half an hour or so.
According to Mr. Blaketon, you arrived at the meeting at around about 4:30, slightly later than you suggested, and left after drinks at around 7. Is that correct?
Sergeant, I told you already. To discover that your wife of 20-odd years has been bludgeoned to death rather wipes away the trivia of life.
Yes, I understand that, sir, but these times are crucial to our inquiries.
I'm sorry, Sergeant, but I don't like your tone.
Jacob Fairbrother is denying any knowledge of an altercation with Shona. He says that when he left the house, she was alive and well.
Well, of course he'd say that. The man's a liar and a drunk. What is all this?
Our power cut last night. Down to Vernon and his gang.
Prove it, can you?
Well, no. Well, they won't try it again. And I managed to get them on serving food without a licence.
Oh, carry on like this, you get promoted.
That'll be the day. I was hoping I could sneak out early. I promised I'd make it up to Gina tonight, you know, with that whole concert saga.
This is all getting very serious, from the sound of it.
Not you as well, Alf.
Well, you know what police regulations are.
Yes, I do.
But if Gina gives up the pub, you'll be all right. But I can't see her doing that somehow. Can you?
Do you recognize this, Mr. Anderson?
No.
Well, that is surprising, because it comes from a bonfire in your garden. It's a piece of your shirt, isn't it, sir? And the bloodstains should be easy enough to identify. Your wife's, would you say? Shall I tell you what I think happened? I think you discovered that Mrs. Henderson had handed over 4 weeks' pay to Jacob Fairbrother, and you lost your temper. As you have done on previous occasions. Only this time, you went too far. Now, would you like to help us by making a statement, Mr. Henderson?
I need a solicitor.
Yes, sir. I think you do.
She walked up to me and she asked me to dance. I asked her her name and in a dark brown voice she said hello, 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 la 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 la.
Ah, Gina, there you are. That was Bellamy on the phone. He sends his apologies. He says he can't make it tonight.
Oh? Did he say why?
No, he just says he'll see you tomorrow and explain everything then.
It's 9pence, please.
That's a turn up for the books, isn't it just? Maybe he's decided to take our advice after all.
She picked me up and snapped me on the knee.
still can't believe it. How could I have been so wrong about someone? I'd have put my last pound on Joe having nothing to do with Shona's death.
I'm so sorry, Mum. Really, I am.
I couldn't bear what you said to me this morning. Mainly because so much of it's true. I'm sorry, Jackie. You have never been a failure in my eyes. I love you very much. Though I admit I haven't always been able to show it. Apology accepted?
Apology accepted.
Heartbeat, why do you miss when my baby kisses me? Heartbeat, why does a love kiss stay in my memory?